Phew. That was a bit of a mess on Gorgon, but at least it's over now, and we've come to the Lost Hope here on the Groundbreaker for a couple of drinks. Parvati because her girlfriend's here, and Nyoka because she's an alcoholic. And, yeah. I think things have progressed about as well as we could expect. I'm going to head back to the ship, and hopefully no other side missions or DLC will come up when I get back there. Ah, the Groundbreaker. What a pretty deck. This day is going to be just fine. I'm sure I'm not going to have to go solve any murders. The good old unreliable. I should just quickly cover a few things. I found out why that hunting rifle I was using was doing absolutely no damage, because it was absolutely ruined. So I've repaired that, a few other weapons, and messed about with my armor. I put a lot of stuff in this crate. So my inventory is a bit clearer, and I've got some extra... Well, I have got some extra storage space when I'm wearing my new armor. I'm now wearing the Elite Troop Armor Gold, which is blue and not gold, but it's still called the same thing as what I was wearing. But it's a lot better. A bit of a shame, actually. I was quite enjoying wearing that golden suit, but... Well... Vanity has to move over for practicality on occasion. I'm just going to check my terminal. Don't think there's going to be anything new here. No. Alright, well, I'm going to go talk to Ada. I wonder if she knows anything. She mentioned a while ago, and I didn't record it, something to do with an ether wave program. I think I might bring it up with her again. Hello, Ada. Been a while since we've actually chatted, you and me. And you don't often have much to say.
How can I be of assistance?
I'm just doing some general conversation, hoping not to start any DLCs. Did you mention an ether wave drama? I'd like to see it.
Certainly, Captain. I was hoping you would ask.
Rizzo's presents Murder on Eridanos. Halcyon Helen versus the Brain Eaters. Oh, is that Halcyon Helen? Ruth Bellamy as Halcyon Helen. I've heard a lot about you.
The law-forsaken parasites.
I've never wanted to actually watch one. So, are they all in black and white? Is that the kind of, is that what an etherwave drama has?
My quest to stop them.
And it's noir.
To avenge my partner.
I always thought it was sort of action-y. I
And
assumed
my
it was.
ex-partner, Bernice. And Lieutenant Jurgen. And those two informants.
She has a litany of dead
Brought
partners
me
as well.
Rizzo's distillery. But it wasn't just the triple distilled deliciousness of Rizzo's Spectrum brand vodka that I found there.
And obviously the advertising. Product placement. Well, that's just
It was
rude.
death.
That's just a
I
cockroach
made
minding
sure
its own
the
business.
Brainers paid the price. But at what cost to me?
Anyone ever tell the makers of this show that this level of exposition dumping is a little bit amateurish? Oh, she's got the Han Solo stance as well. Color came in.
It's you.
This is the Halcyon News Network with breaking news. Halcyon
Nicely done.
Helen has been murdered. Administrator Ludovico of Rizzo's refused to answer the big question on everyone's mind. Who will Spectrum Vodka's next spokesperson be? Claiming that a special investigation must be concluded first.
What? Wait, was the actress murdered, or was...
Captain, we have a communication coming in from one Administrator Ludovico.
Oh, I love administrators.
Get off the transmission, Cedric. We agreed to let me do the negotiating. Law be with you, friend. I am Administrator Ludovico of the famed Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. But there's no need to stand on formality. You may address me as Mr.
Alright, Mr. Oh, no, I would just call him Mr. Like a Victorian street urchin. I don't like your attitude. Let me just inform you, you contacted my ship, so I don't like your attitude when you just butt in like that and demand I use a title, even though it's a perfectly normal form of address.
I apologize if I've struck too familiar a tone for your tastes. Let me get right to the point. Halcyon Helen is dead.
Halcyon Helen's fictional, isn't
Her
she?
death is the tragedy of our lifetime. As the face of our new product line, her murder is a stain on the Rizzo's brand.
Wouldn't it be Ruth Bellamy who's
She
been
was
murdered?
scheduled to unveil our newest product, Spectrum Brown, before this tragic event. But we cannot move forward with our unveiling until we apprehend the killer.
Okay. Two things. Halcyon Helen is a fictional character played by an actor. How can Halcyon Helen be dead? Two, what the hell does this have to do with me?
All right, Ludovico, that's enough. You don't know what you're doing. Let me handle this.
Okay. Kincannon?
Captain Hawthorne, Sublight's favorite freelancer. I'm such an admirer of your work. Cedric Kincannon, Sublight Underground. I'm so glad we're hiring a third-party investigator. No one wants to see a troop of UDL guards stomping all over my hotel. Least of all me.
Well, I do like Sublight.
The murder
And
of
piracy.
Halcyon Helen is a heinous assault on this colony. I look forward to watching you find the miscreant responsible and drag them out of the shadows.
I'm having trouble seeing the death of a 2-bit actor as an assault on the colony. I have heard, well, I don't know if I've heard specifically of Sublight Underground, but I'll take your word on that they have an underground division. Not that you'd think that a semi-shady smuggling company needs to specify that they have this particular section for underground stuff. I suppose I'm having trouble seeing how the death of a 2-bit actor can be classified as an assault on the colony.
2-bit actor? Oh, Captain. This isn't Spencer Woolridge we're talking about. This is Halcyon Helen, Princess of Periodicals, Duchess of Dramaturgy. You would not believe the money she made us on Dissident Busters.
For law's sake, Cedric, could you show a little discretion and not bring up your contraband operations in front of an outsider?
Believe me, I've heard worse.
Ludovico, you wound me. I'm establishing rapport with our new contractor.
I like Kid
I'm
Cannon
giving
more
the
than you,
impression
bro.
That you can't be trusted.
Do you really want to do this right now, Cedric? You want to antagonize me while I'm negotiating a contract? Because I promise you, I'll win.
Gentlemen, please, as far as I'm concerned, you're both idiots. No, let's just get back to the point here.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Who the hell are you?
Law, how hard is it to hire a freelancer?
Is there anyone on
Apologies, Mr. Ludovico.
Eridanos who isn't
That was
on this phone
inappropriate
call
of
at the
me.
moment?
Captain, I'm Constable Maria Keene. Hiring a third-party investigator was my idea. I've been studying your dossier. You are an extraordinary scientist. If your talents extend to forensics, then you may be exactly what we need. As far as I'm concerned, you're the ideal inspector for this case.
Inspector Marcus Ashikaga, I like the sound of that. Or, shouldn't this be the constable's job? Constable? Yeah, that's just how many people are involved in this communication.
Just the three of us.
Just the three? No one else is going to jump in here unexpectedly?
You must excuse us. The situation on Eridanos is tense. If we don't bring Helen's killer to justice, this scandal could scupper our entire operation. Please, Captain, I'm asking you to help us. While you're pursuing your investigation, we'll make you a guest of honor at the Grand Colonial.
That sounds very nice. I'll come lounge around and decide. Alright, yeah, no, I'll come lounge around and then decide.
I encourage you to consider this offer seriously.
No.
The future of our complex may depend on your success. I'll leave you in the constable's care. Mr. Kincannon and I must have a word.
Fine. Bud Rizzo's is paying for that hotel room.
I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Alright, I get a free hotel room,
And
okay
even
with
though
that.
they may not show their gratitude, I know Administrator Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon appreciate your involvement.
I wonder if I should, on this
Mr.
case,
Kincannon could lose
pretend
the
to
spaceport
be
if board authorities took over the investigation, and if Rizzo's is
Hawthorne.
forced to cancel its unveiling, we might never recover.
Helen must have been pretty popular if her death could put an end to your operations. Those two seem to have some issues, but I suppose that's not really my business. Okay, well, yeah. I assume I don't know much about how... No, because I've literally been in deep freeze all the way to the colony. I haven't been watching a lot of TV shows.
Helen was more than popular. She gave something to this colony that no product line could ever provide. Real happiness.
Fake real
no
happiness.
No one has ever been as well known
or real fake
well
happiness.
Outside of our courageous business leaders.
Of course. Alright, you sound a bit worn out.
Me? Worn out? Perish the notion. My days are filled with catering to the oh-so-reasonable requests of Mr. Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon. What's not to like?
Well, sarcasm's still on there. Still on the menu. Well, they seem like jackasses.
Your words, not mine. Please don't take my lack of disagreement as anything other than fatigue. I am a content, productive, and happy member of our society.
And quite the lawyer. They seem to have some issues.
The administrator oversees Rizzo's operations.
Get some information out of it, why not?
Runs the hotel and the spaceport. They're always at each other's throats. My life would be so much easier if they'd simply learned to work together.
Alright, well... You seem competent. Why haven't you dealt with this?
I represent the law, Captain. But what's happening between Mr. Kincannon and the administrator is... politics. Politics are not my area of expertise.
Surely the murder of Helen is.
Politics are complicated.
I think grammatically there, it's politics is complicated. I know politics is kind of pluralized, but I think politics is correct there. That's how I'd say it. Alright, I suppose I've got everything I need.
Transmission terminated. Captain, we are now cleared to land at the Eridanos atmospheric complex.
Okay, thank you, Ada. And I don't know why they're trusting me to catch Halcyon Helen's killer. And why aren't we calling her Ruth Bellamy? Surely it's the actor that's the problem. I can't get over that. That's annoying me.
There are several reasons why someone would hire your services. In descending order of likelihood, they are as follows. Desperation, confusion, mistaken identity, inebriation, and genuine faith in your abilities.
Thank you, Ada. I can always count on a vote of confidence from you. What can you tell me about Eridanos?
Eridanos is a hydrogen-helium gas giant, distinguished by a well-defined ring system.
Sounds like fun.
The Eridanos atmospheric complex is a system of land masses propelled through a thin layer of the upper atmosphere, where humans are potentially capable of surviving.
Potentially? Oh, that's all I have to say about that. Okay, we'll go potentially then. Alright. And I've got a new skill and a perk point. And just me with the perk point. I said I was going to go up... I got to Persuade 100. I'm going to go up Long Guns to 100. Which is what I said I was going to do last time I got a skill point. And perks. But I don't really mind much anymore. I suppose more carrying capacity wouldn't hurt. How about just straight up... Whenever you are affected by a harmful combat effect, you deal increased damage. Dealing... I have a few floors by now, don't I? Can I check how many floors I have? Details somewhere? I have 3 floors. Robophobia, Raptophobia, and Corrosive Weakness. So, how about that? 5% damage per floor, so that's a total of 15% damage. That's gotta be something. Okay. Now, I would bring Felix with me on this particular mission, since it has to do with... And I'll go talk to a bunch of people before I head to Eridanos. I would bring Felix with me, but I did just spend all that time on Peril and Gorgon with Felix. And I really feel like I need a different crew. So I've decided on Parvati and Nyoka for this DLC. Since I had Ellie and Felix for the last one, Parvati and Nyoka will be my current runaround crew. But I'm going to talk with Felix and the other members of the crew. I'm starting with Felix because he's probably interested in this. He's a fan of Halcyon Helen, I understand. And I would bring him along, but just because we've already done so much together, I got to give some of the rest of... I don't want to be playing favorites here with my crew. It might make people seem jealous. Or people become jealous. Oh, I can't talk to you about this. Huh. Thought I might.
Something on your mind?
And try to talk to you. No.
Human, you are in violation of Cleanliness Ordinance 8886.
This is why you're not coming with me, Sam. That's just rude. Why would you even say that? Like...
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
Just wanna... I don't think anyone's gonna talk about this DLC at the moment. Maybe I'll find out when I get to Eridanos. Alright, I guess I'll quickly check on Parvati, but who knows. I have a feeling nobody's gonna say anything.
Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a talkie? You think he got lonely, flying about on his own?
I don't know, maybe. I guess someone to chat to. He seemed like a fairly gregarious sort, from what I know of him. Alright, fine. I guess we're going straight to Eridanos. That is... over here, the gas giant, and we're in the upper atmosphere, Cloud City.
Eridanos, recently famous for Halcyon Helen's death. How exciting.
Isn't it just? Yep. Still calling her Halcyon Helen. Alright, I'm double checking I can't talk to anyone about this.
I can't believe Miss
Oh,
Helen's
now you
gone.
can. Now you can talk to them. Alright, you had to
Feels like it's
jump there
something against
first.
The laws of nature somehow. I used to watch Helen's serials. She'd fall into mortal peril every couple episodes, but she always lived in the end.
I'm glad I could take you to see Eridanos. I guess you're coming down with me. How does it feel?
Breathtaking. Have you looked over the edge of the complex yet? Just watch the clouds turning? It's like an ocean without end.
We're not on there yet, Parvati. I don't know if you know this. We're still floating above it. Okay, it is really something. I feel like I should
Eridanos
have
and Olympus are the
this
two
conversation
biggest
on the
planets in
surface.
Halcyon. King and queen of the sky. Looking out to the horizon, I get this feeling that we're in the company of royalty. Eridanos is 100 times the mass of Terra 2.
She knows everything about
100
it.
times the volume, 10 times the diameter. We're flying through the tiniest layer of habitable atmosphere.
Not yet, Parvati.
Sometimes I can't believe how small my world used to be. My horizons were about as wide as the walls of Edgewater.
And now look at you, on top of the world.
Yeah,
Literally.
we've come a long way.
I'm not going to go into it too much. Okay, we'll talk later. Parvati's definitely coming. She seems interested in Eridanos. Okay. Felix. And then I'm going to talk to Nyoka, and then I think I can leave everyone else alone. Felix will have an opinion. I hit F. Sorry, I hit F to interact there.
I know we got a murder to solve, but I say we take our time. Enjoy the hotel.
This is kind of messing.
Except us. The killer ain't going anywhere. Unless they jumped off the edge. And they got some way to fly. Huh. Didn't think about that.
Yeah. Well, you don't seem as distraught about the death of Halcyon Helen, because I feel like you're more of a fan. Ellie, anything to say?
Does being on the case give us temporary immunity? Think they'll let us confiscate a few stray bits?
Immediately, thoughts go straight to theft. Don't they, Ellie? Alright. Nyoka, she's usually here. Unless she's unconscious somewhere. Someone check if Nyoka's conscious. Oh yeah, no, she's not. I'd bring you along, but you don't quite seem in the right state.
You know, of all the places we've been, this is the closest I've felt to something that can work. This whole complex, I mean. They've got gainful employment, a wilderness reserve for fun, an enormous roof over people's heads.
This is a bit weird.
Maybe after the dust settles, they could shore up some holes and be an example to the rest of the colony. Here's hoping.
We'll talk later. Yes, she's still there. She became extremely lucid for like half a second. I'm gonna bring her along, but it's gonna feel weird. after that little interaction. Fine. I don't need to bother speaking to Max or Sam, so, you know, let's head on. To Eridanos. This is supposed to be something if what Nyoka and Parvati are saying about it has any bearing to its... well, what it looks like. It's supposed to be impressive is what I'm trying to get at. Ooh, a little cutscene. A lot smoggier than I'd anticipated. Nice landing. Yeah, shame about the smog. It kind of, like, it's pretty enough, but it suddenly appears a little, well, it's like London in the 60s. So they have got a whole, like, park over there. That's quite neat. And I'm looking at these massive, I don't know if they're cyclones or something. But it's very pretty from up here. I bet it's not as pretty close up once we get into the weeds. Alright. Parvati, Nyoka, let's be on our best behavior. And let's head to this hotel we've got for free. Rizzo's is...
wow. This is a job? Feels more like a vacation.
Yep, I agree. Until, of course, the penny drops. Hello, you're wearing a dumb hat.
Hope your atmospheric entry wasn't too troublesome. As a guest of honor, you deserve the best in comfort.
Well, thank you, Bellhop Norville.
Shipping Underground, or Slug, as we like to call ourselves, is delighted to welcome you to Eridanos.
And I'm delighted to be welcomed by a slug.
I'm the Colonial Head Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the Inspector, to the Grand Ballroom, which was the scene of the crime.
Okay. Can you fill me in on the mood of the hotel? A lot of people upset?
I'll say. There's nary a soul here who wasn't a fan of hers in some respect. Just about everybody's shocked. Some people are inconsolable. Hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks think he had something to do with the murder, but I don't believe it.
He did it. It's always the boyfriend.
I still don't understand why anyone would have it in for Ms. Helen.
Folks get heated when it comes to serials and their actors, I suppose.
Was she a divisive figure?
Not particularly. But I think some folks were jealous of her success, or otherwise viewed her as a threat. Reckon how she came about her fame didn't help.
Well, how did she come about her fame?
Why, she was a natural. People fell in love with her. She managed to wrangle up a following all on her own. She ended up about as famous and high-runged as your average VP, which rubbed a lot of Byzantines the wrong way. Actors ain't supposed to get preferential treatment. I imagine the admin briefed you about Helen's part in the Spectrum Brown unveiling. Too bad about the postponement. Not so terrible as Helen's murder, but still a crying shame.
Uh-huh. I thought you worked for Slug, not Rizzo's. Why are you worried about their reveals?
I do. Rizzo's happened to rent out the Grand Colonial Ballroom from Slug for the unveiling. A nice, mutually beneficial event.
No, fair,
but
I suppose.
The murder's gone and ruined that. Along with 9 out of 10 of my favorite serials.
It's alright, it's alright.
Anyway, I think I've held you up long enough. Once you're ready, head down to the lobby. The ballroom is just behind the elevators. Meanwhile, I'll grab your bags.
We don't have any bags. I don't think you need to take any bags. I carry everything in a sort of magical dimension in my arse.
You're certain? Alright then. Guess we can probably set you up with some spare uniforms if you muss yours.
What's wrong with what I'm wearing? And what does the word muss mean? I gotta look that one up. Slug marksman. Okay. Well, at least it's clean.
I could have sworn you just said
It's very well kept around here.
Apologies, sir, but the atmospheric complex is on complete lockdown. No one's allowed in or out.
Hotel guest.
Investigations concluded.
Do you have any
I can just
idea
take
why?
stuff, by the way.
I could bury you under 6 tons of paperwork before you had the time to cry out for your supervisor.
I'm just watching.
I'm sure you could, but we fed our last box of grievance forms into the incinerator a few months ago. Is there anything I can do for you in the meantime?
I cannot believe this.
Hi, I'm just watching you have a complaint. Alright. They let you take stuff out of the boxes, so I'm just gonna take this. You know, Ellie will be happy that I'm stealing all the bits I come across. So... let's head to the Grand Colonial. I'd explore a bit more around here. There seems to be a area around here, but I'm just gonna move on. We'll do some exploring. We got time enough for that.
Greetings, Inspector.
Hello.
No need to check in here. Your paperwork has all been processed.
Hold on, I'm just checking. You are definitely wearing that hat. Wow, you are actually. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen a human being put on their head.
Sublight Underground appreciates your patronage.
Of course. Really, just awful headwear. I genuinely can't believe that.
Game as we travel. You might be a top runger if your hotel is taller than the highest mountain on Monarch.
That'd be it. That'd probably be that. I guess that makes us top rungers. I mean, Rizzo's is just like fronting the costs for us. That's very unusual for a corporation. They don't pay for anything.
It really is a terrible shame. I absolutely adored her cereals.
I almost can't imagine someone wretched enough to do such a thing. You don't think a dissident could be here, do you?
Nice moustache.
Get a hold of yourself. The administrator would never allow someone as dangerous as a dissident here. Eridanos is safe. This is all just a terrible coincidence.
Of course, you are absolutely right. I think the idea of a psychopath wandering among us is just making me nervous.
Nyoka, say nothing. Parvati, it's alright. You don't have to worry about what I'm saying to Nyoka. You're fine. We're all completely level-headed here. So, here's what I'm guessing at the moment. This is a Rizzo's facility, obviously. Operated by Sublight, in a sort of contract basis, or at least leased out by Sublight. But it seems to be basically a getaway location, a resort for the VPs and the CFOs and whatever of the colony. So this is, I mean, you got the Grand Colonial, you've got a hunting ground. This is where the wealthy spend their summers.
What? You don't mean to tell me that it
All right.
isn't? There's something even worse?
There is. I spent 6,000 bits on a new suit for the unveiling, but now that it's been postponed, I'll never get a chance to show it off.
My law, that is a real tragedy.
My goodness. And I'm also basing that assumption on the clientele. Alright. Transition into the Grand Colonial Hotel. I'm looking forward to seeing my room, though.
I've always wondered what that mascot's got in his hands. What's in the box?
A present. Probably a present.
The murder has inflicted severe emotional trauma on me. I demand a room upgrade.
No response. Not likely. Yeah.
I'll bet you 10 bits this is all just some sort of publicity stunt.
10 bits? Is that all? I'd bet a whole lot more than that. Bellhop Norval, how you doing?
The crime scene's awaiting, Inspector. Can't believe something like this could happen in my hotel. When I found her, I was just hoping she had a little too much to drink, but all the grievous bodily injury adds up, I suppose.
Wait, you found the body? Why didn't you tell me?
You didn't ask.
Point.
Anyway, I'm sure you've got questions.
I just didn't assume. Do you want to give me more details on how you came across the body?
Sure, I'd taken to checking the barroom every few hours prior to the unveiling. Just to make sure no sprats had snuck into the place. You understand. Found her right before I was set to head back to my room in the lower levels for my mandated 5-hour sleep period. Tell ya, thank the law for caffeinoid. Been too upset to get a wink of sleep since. And hey, now I can finally see smells.
Did Did you kill Helen? You can tell me if you did. It'll be our little secret.
What? No. Just because I found the corpse doesn't mean I made her.
I might fuck with a few people while I'm here.
All day. Besides, I loved Helen's serials. Well, the old ones anyway. The newer episodes are hot junk on a warm day.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it jumped the shark at about season 8. Any idea why Helen would have been in the ballroom after hours?
Beats all hell out of me. Maybe she was practicing for the unveiling?
I doubt it somehow.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Did you see Helen on the day of her death? Before she died, obviously.
Of course I did. I just told you I found the body.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wait. You mean when she was still breathing?
Mm-hmm.
No, of course I didn't. Plus, it's untoward for an employee to speculate about the actions of a hotel guest. Not that I saw any hotel guests interacting with her.
Spill it. Persuade 65. I think we both know that you're itching to gossip.
Honestly, you're more than a little right. I've been burning at the britches to share my theories.
Go on.
Day of her death, I saw Helen leave the hotel premises of the Prophet of Profitability. And didn't see her come back. A little on the suspicious side, I think.
And this Prophet of Profitability is a person?
Seeing how, as far as I was aware, the two didn't get on.
Alright, the Prophet of Profitability. Is this a guess? I don't know why you assume it's a she, but very well. Is she a guess? Are they a guess? Is this person a human being? Not for some reason, the Prophet of Profitability I thought might be some kind of robot.
Yep. Gives seminars on increasing profit margins and the like. Can't say much else, seeing how I ain't in the gossip market.
Yes, you are. Why didn't Helen and the Prophet get along?
As far as I can recall, Helen dismissed the lady's seminars in some kind of interview. Said her co-star used them, but she didn't. The top rungers are always ready to read between the lines of famous folks and seem to think the Prophet was on her way out. Woman lost a ton of bits and is set to lose more.
Alright, other question?
I hope all that helped. I'd like to be as useful as I can in the investigation.
Just give me all the information
steer anyone the wrong way.
you know, and we'll be good. Any idea who might have wanted to do Helen in?
Everyone's got theories. I don't reckon mine hold much more weight than anyone else's.
Okay, fine. Alright, let's talk to the constable.
Black hole Bertie's disappeared, you know. That poor fellow must be inconsolable.
Perhaps, unless he did it. I'm just coming through. Hello.
Oh, thank the law.
Yes, the rando has showed up.
Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you.
Constable Keen, nice to meet you. We spoke on the ether wave.
Constable Maria Keen. It's good to meet you in person, Inspector.
Let's roleplay a little bit. Let's go with it.
Dr. Goodnight. Ecstatic to make your various acquaintances and so on? Are we finished with the pleasantries? There's something I'm excited to show you.
Excited? What you got, Doc? Is it the directions to the spa? Let's not be weird. We'll go to the spa in due course. Yeah, no, let's go full detective procedural. What do you got for me, Doc?
An extraordinary contraption. You'll love it.
Our coroner has developed a device which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier.
Ah.
Hold it in your hands. Feel the way it hums with ontological potential.
Long gun 65 and engineering 65. This looks like a scope modified with a computing device.
I work with the materials to which I have access. Halcyon has no shortage of rifles. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to detect the discrepancy between what should be and what actually is. Then it renders any discrepancies visible by using the power of magnification.
So it's a magnifying glass.
Yes. It's a magnifying glass, but an extraordinarily powerful one. It looks through the glass of reality itself.
itself.
This is mumbo jumbo
I'm
for a
contractually
clue
prohibited
system.
from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want to peer into the amplifier and examine the crime scene.
Okay, I have the discrepancy amplifier. So this is, as I mentioned, basically the... Well, that thing that Cole has constantly in his head in L.A. Noire, or basically the scanner from Cyberpunk 2077 and various other ways this idea has been implemented in video games. Okay. So I equip that as a weapon. Let's put it over my shock cannon. Scanning Eridanos for evidence. To catch Helen's killer, he'll need to use the discrepancy amplifier to amplifier scope to reveal clues not visible to the naked eye. Once you've located some evidence, aim directly at it while zooming in with the scope and press the interact button to analyze it. So almost exactly like the scanner from Cyberpunk. Alright, so we got a few clues here. She's got 13-bit cartridges on her. I feel weird about taking that, so I'm not going to. E. Okay, I accidentally shot the corpse. Okay, no, E to analyze.
The discrepancy amplifier is now operational. Greetings, designated inspector and/or unauthorized.
Oh, it has a voice too.
This unit has detected a discrepancy related to how
I did shoot the corpse, I'm sorry. Apparently there's a...
Begin amplification.
Discrepancy related to Halcyon Helen, unscheduled expiration of. Begin amplification. Science 45, I see you've been designed with a modular analytical system. What else can you do?
The discrepancy amplifier has been programmed with advanced speech recognition, scientific analysis, and deterministic calculus protocols.
And accidentally shooting corpses as well.
This. Amplifier, tell the inspector about your features.
Please do not interrupt the discrepancy amplifier.
It's got attitude too.
The discrepancy amplifier is programmed to take instruction from its registered or designated inspector.
How curious. I must have set its impertinence levels to flagrant.
This unit's features include an automated personality simulator. This unit has been programmed to simulate joy and satisfaction in assisting you.
So it's a handheld TARS from Interstellar. Alright. Let's get started. Tell me about this discrepancy you found.
This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailants.
Probably it's just one set of footprints, so I would suggest taste of the dirt. That's disgusting. I'm gonna do that just because I've seen it in movies and such. This is just gonna get weird responses from the others here.
Ah, I see you went to the Keened School of Detective Methods.
Discrepancy amplifier. The dirt tastes earthy and with faint woody and fruity undertones. Discrepancy amplifier. Do the size of these footprints match anything you have on record?
Footprint is a tailor-made 8.75, suggesting that its owner was very particular about their shoe size.
That's convenient. They didn't just get it off the shelf.
That Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint.
Can you analyze the dirt?
The dirt carries traces of fertilizer, as well as the faint signs of crushed purpleberries and grass. Grass, fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the purpleberry orchards, located not far from the Grand Colonio.
Earthy, woody, and fruity undertones. Amazing. So Helen must have been at the orchards before she died? That's a bit of a leap, but I'll take your word on that.
This deduction appears sound.
I believe that's
Good
an
work,
inference.
Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case. You'll need Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to the orchards. Contact him through the secure access terminal in your penthouse suite.
Good, I was going to ask
Check in with the concierge.
about my
Your room
penthouse.
should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar.
Okay, thank you. I'll try not to shoot any more important corpses and bother a bunch of people. Okay, so the orchards are our first clue based on literally footprints. So we're Sherlock Holmesing the fuck out of all this. Let's have a look at this door. That's locked, and it doesn't allow me to hack it. Alright. I gotta head up to my apparently very swanky penthouse. I'm looking forward to this. That's the outside, so that's okay. Alright, let's book in. And,
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
What do you mean?
This is a
Oh, hold on. There was more stuff.
product. Helen appears to have attempted to use it to spell something as she expired, but all she managed was a sticky bee.
Sticky bee. Was she trying to spell Rachel? Was she trying to spell the name of her killer?
This hypothesis is plausible, but requires additional information.
Well, black hole... what's his face? That's obviously... Isn't Black Hole Bertie staying here? That's my first thought. Let's go with it.
Correct. Bertie Black Hole Holcomb is a registered guest at the
Holcomb?
Grand Colonial Hotel.
Parvati? Any relation? You have an E? Do you have an E in your name or something? Anybody else I should know about?
Accessing guest database. B. The Grand Colonial Hotel is proud to serve the following VIPs. Bertie, Black Hole. Burbage 3001.
Make a note of this for later, Amplifier.
This evidence has been recorded for later reference. Now generating pre-approved compliment. Splendid work, Inspector.
Thank you, Discrepancy Amplifier. I'll take that at face value. Parvati, yeah, Holcomb, and just double checking there's not any relation there. Alright, so there were 2 clues, one of them I missed. Yeah, alright. Put that away. Alright, let's go check out our rooms now properly.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph when I had the chance.
Now, doesn't that just suck?
Staring at her won't bring her back, folks.
No. But, you know, Rubberneck is gonna rubberneck. Ooh, requires employee access card level A to unlock. Okay. Go to the concierge and let's get our room set up. You look very pleasant.
I'm sorry, sir, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are...
I think you'll find I'm an exception.
Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me
Precisely.
you'd be checking in soon.
Right. You happen to have my room key?
Ah, yes.
I know who Mr. Kincannon is.
We are pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now available for you.
Thank
the
you.
last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy.
You didn't give me Halcyon Helen's room, did you?
Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer.
You got some high-profile guests here, right? What can you tell me about them? More information. Let's dig.
My apologies,
Fish. I think we're
Inspector,
fishing.
but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy.
I'm an inspector investigating a murder.
All right, my supervisor just walked out earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know?
Start with Black Hole Bertie. I heard Black Hole Bertie was staying here.
Ah, Bertie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I have a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Bertie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split.
Alright. Notice anything about Halcyon Helen before she died?
You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aetherwave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see. So she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed.
What, in the past tense, or... Was she closer with some people than others?
Everyone wanted to be around Helen. She could usually be seen alongside Bertie or Woolrich, for obvious reasons.
Woolrich? Helen's co-star. He have any reasons to want her dead?
If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his.
Motive noted.
See, I'd bet we're the only 2 people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. and I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it.
I would like to speak with him.
Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade.
We've got some kind of productivity guru here. What's her deal?
Her deal? Not making them. I'd laugh at my own comment, but everyone knows there's no bigger joke than the profit of profitability.
Yes, I've heard.
Didn't you hear Helen's interview? That woman is the definition of humbuggery. Anyone who gives her the time of day is a right fool.
Alright, we got more motives.
I mean, Spencer Woolridge has taken several of her productivity seminars, and look where it got him. Don't waste your time.
So, Woolridge... So, Bertie... She broke up with Bertie, which might make a love affair kind of jealousy, murder, motive, whatever. Woolridge has just professional jealousy, and then it's entirely possible that Helen ruined the career of this prophet. So, we got 3 suspects as of present.
That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you?
Just the facts, ma'am. The fewer people who know about me, the better. Then I want to swish my cape and walk away.
A man of mystery, are you? Consider me intrigued.
Well, the Grand Colonial is sure very interesting.
It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition.
And opulence.
Please, allow me to answer any curiosities you might have about our building and the amenities on offer.
Well, I'm going straight to the penthouse. What does that have to offer?
Twice the size of the next biggest room, and kitted out with any amenity you want, as well as many that you won't. Best to enjoy it while you can, Inspector. Typically, the only people who can afford the penthouse suite have enough bits to suffocate everyone on Terra 2. Also, please inform me if Woolridge gives you a hard time about getting a better room than his. Don't tell him I said this, but everyone on staff wants to strangle him.
No strangling anyone without my express permission. Anything special about the upper levels?
Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the upmost parts of the hotel.
Naturally.
You can hardly walk 3 feet without bumping into a tossball grate or a bored exec. Though maybe don't bump into them. Could be harmful to your health.
I'll watch my step. No one seems to talk much about the lower levels of the hotel.
Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Rizzo's plant, either.
You can't honestly tell me there's nothing of interest in an entire half of a hotel?
Of interest to your investigation? Well, I suppose there is that one door we're not supposed to open. But I'm sorry, Inspector, I'm not authorized to grant you access to any staff sections of the hotel. You'll have to find a way in on your own.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. That's enough.
If you're sure.
Goodbye. Okay. Let's head to our penthouse. And... Okay, thank you, Norval. I'm just gonna double check you don't have anything extra to add.
Didn't I see? I hope you're fond of the penthouse. It's pretty much the best seat in the whole hotel. You shouldn't want for any amenity you might find elsewhere. Should act as a better headquarters for
You're really
the investigation
hyping up this
dust-covered ship. That and you ain't got room service on a ship. You ever need anything, come find me. Even if you don't, you can still swing by. I'm always happy to chat.
Oh, so am I. I'm curious, how'd you get to be a bellhop?
Notice my battle-hardened physique, have you? Used to be in a mighty mean line of work. Been shot at 35 times. That is, I've been near people who were shot at 35 times.
I think I've been shot at 35 times today.
To be honest, I never really enjoyed it, you know? It's one thing to tightrope walk between life and death every day, but for just a handful of bits? Nah.
I'm standing right here, man.
When this position came up, I jumped on it and made a lateral move from sublight to slug. I ain't ever looked back.
How different is working with slug from working within sublight?
Well, Slug is more trustworthy for one thing, where Sublight is all about back alleys and backstabbing. Slug can be trusted not to salvage your ship when you turn your head.
I thought Slug and Sublight didn't engage much. Both of them Sublight? I need an org chart here, I think.
Well, Slug is something like
Yeah.
an offshoot of Sublight. It ain't too difficult to pivot from one part of the same company to another. Disconnects or no. That said, my departure may have been somewhat hasty.
Sneak 65. Did something bad happen and had to make tracks, eh? Know the feeling.
I mean, yes, but I still earned Sublight a hell of a lot of bits. Basically, I singled out a ship to salvage that I thought had been out for use for years. As it turns out, it belonged to a wealthy Byzantine who used it only to vacation.
Whoops.
As it so happened, I still don't think she tried to use it, too satisfied with the luxuries of Byzantium. Still, I figured it was a good time to turn tail, in case that ever changed.
Alright, any good stories? Surely you've seen a lot of people coming and going.
Stories? Huh. Actually, I think I got a couple now that you mention it. When I was first starting out here, I got lost in the lower levels of the Colonial. Just you not, I ran into a giant purple sprat. Of course, I'd been drinking a little that day.
Might be a sort of semi-boss down there. Alright, back to my other questions.
Now, what can I lend a hand with?
Did you know the victim? Haven't I already asked you this?
Oh, of course. That is, maybe not on a personal level, but I'm one of her biggest fans. Even started an association of like-minded individuals. I'd lament not having anything to meet about anymore, but the newer tribe just ain't done it for us. Still, there goes my hopes of a Terran Monarch reunion episode.
Were the newer serial episodes that bad?
Of course. Budgets went up, but the writing quality chewed straight through the floorboards and free fell into Halcyon's son. I'm supposed to believe Helen would let the chief of the savages go free? Just since he was revealed to be her half-cousin? He's a dissident! You kill him! I, like most fans, reckon this series should go back to its roots. Another 200 episodes of the Origins plotline is what we really want.
That's why you never ask fans to write a show. Never have fans write a show. So the best Star Wars show recently has been Andor. It was literally written by someone who isn't interested in Star Wars. Okay, let's ask a few questions about the crime scene.
Please do.
I haven't got anything to say. I've already asked all the questions. Alright!
Hello there, my inordinately esteemed guest. If my hello were any more earnest, this loudspeaker would explode. What authorized floor can I bring you to?
Are you a person on the other side of the intercom, or are you the lift talking to me? Bring me to the penthouse suite. I'll go to the VIP guest floor at another date.
Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
Ah, and everyone's here. Hi. So that's why you were all talking to me on the ship, because it's sort of slightly bugged out. So, okay, this is my hub now. I go back and forward from here. This acts as my ship. Alright, I've got to contract the administrator. So how's everyone doing? I want to have a look around. Very nice. Vicar is just looking out of the stained glass windows. I don't think you'd be able to see much through that bit, but you can look at the clouds, I suppose. I want to see if I can find my room. Wow. Who? This can't be mine.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Oh. So what the hell happened here? Is one of my crews doing, or did this happen before we got here? I keep hitting... Excuse me, sorry, I shot your luggage, whoever's this is.
The imprint left inside this suitcase matches the silhouette of Halcyon Helen's iconic handgun, the Needler. The weapon was recently removed.
That's interesting. Why would that be in my room? Was this vacated by someone who might have been related to the death? It's got one room. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Let's have a look on this side. There's a workshop and a kitchenette. Or a kitchen, actually, at this scale. I'd expect there to be more sleeping space, frankly. But I suppose I can have the couch. Can't take the bed away from my own crew. There's only one bedroom. Alright. Well, we'll contact the administrator and maybe we'll mention that to him. Probably wouldn't hurt.